Welcome to the Curry Gumbo Podcast with Nicole and Ashley. Today we are taking a trip to Jamaica to get our groove back with Stella. We're going to find a man and bring him back to the United States. Stay tuned to see how it works out. We need to get into more Terry McMillian books turned movies because she also did Waiting to Exhale. I didn't like the Disappear and Acts movie, but I did like the book.
I've never seen it.
Did you read
I
the book?
wanted to watch it. I have never read Terry McMillian. I was more of a Zane girl. Had no business reading any of it, but
Zane was just eroticism. That wasn't novels. That was like you just got to the good part.
You're right. I mean, Zane started out just fucking.
Exactly.
Just fucking. But I guess I'm talking about like the popular black lit. Like I put Zane and Terry McMillian in the same category.
Really?
I do. I've never read Terry McMillian, but I
Terry
think
McMillian,
that
she's not that vulgar as Zane.
no, she's not that vulgar, but I don't. And I think maybe this is like my elitism coming through, or the elitism that I was taught in classes. No one was teaching me Terry McMillian. It was like Toni Morrison,
okay,
and Bombara, and like Alice Walker. No one was like, "Hey, we're gonna read Terry McMillian." Like no one was doing that.
I get that because I remember reading Toni Morrison, Sula in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I think Terry McMillian, she's more of the Eric Jerome Dickies.
Yes.
And Zane is her own category because that was just
Zane
porn.
is a woman?
I think it was. I remember I looked it up one time. It's a woman. Look it up.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it was a man until I swear I looked it up one time.
Girl, you know. Look, I'm here to let you know I don't know nothing.
Terry McMillian, she got like three good ones. How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Waiting to Exhale, and Disappear and Acts all turned into movies.
Which one is your favorite?
Probably Stella. Waiting to Exhale is cool. They just seem so depressed.
It's a tough one to watch. Each of them is going through something really difficult, and it is sad. But I mean, how Stella is, it has its funny moments. Thank God for Whoopi Goldberg. But yes. I mean, even her storyline is somewhat depressing. So yeah, I don't know.
Very depressing.
There's a sadness that is never far away from a scene.
So this movie stars the amazing Angela Bassett as Stella and Taye Diggs. Regina King and Ruth Carter stayed with the job.
Listen to me.
When I saw Ruth Carter, I was like, this woman stayed with a job.
When are we going to have our Ruth Carter episode? Because you keep playing, Nicole.
We pretty much do. Every episode is a Ruth Carter episode. Her and Regina King. I'm like, Regina King and her, they ain't take no days off. In the 90s, 2000s, the 2020s.
Do you know how much sick time Regina King has? You know how much vacation time she got? Because she never took a day off.
If she was in corporate, she would be at the point of like retirement where she had her package ready. 3 benefits for the rest of your life. Like, that's how much work she put in. We got Tina Knowles' husband. Every
time I hear the name Lawson, I think of Brown Sugar and Taye Diggs, like Lawson.
Yes, because they said his name, Richard Lawson.
Lawson.
That's his real name. Colonel Taylor and Mr. Gaines made an appearance in here. Cicely, did you watch One-on-One with Kyla Pratt and Flex Alexander?
I did. She was in that?
She was her friend.
Oh, yes.
That was her best friend.
I didn't even realize that was her. And of course, the lovely Suzanne Douglas. Rest in peace.
Yes. So this is based on a true story.
Girl.
Terry McMillian. But we'll get into that later. I like the caption they had for the movie. An unlucky in love stockbroker, Stella, jets to Jamaica with her gal pal, Delilah, for some fun in the sun. There, the 40-year-old working woman has an island fling with Winston, a handsome 20-something. When it's time to return to California, Stella realizes that she's developed real feelings for her new man. But with their distance from each other, not to mention their disparity in age. Does a real relationship stand a chance?
No, it doesn't.
Well, in real life it didn't, but we'll get to that later.
He was gay.
We'll get to that later. So, was this your first time watching this movie?
Girl, no, it wasn't my first time watching it. What kind of question is that?
I'm not gonna judge. Like, I mean, some movies pass us by. I don't know.
You right, because I still ain't seen the 5 Heartbeats.
When was the last time you watched this movie? Do you remember, like, how long it's been?
Years ago, and now I know why, because I fucking hate Stella.
You hate it or her?
No, the movie is good, and I just Stella get on my fucking nerves.
She has an amazing job. House is nice.
In
Car is
San
nice.
Francisco, one of the most expensive cities in the country. I don't think it was ever cheap to live in San Francisco.
So this is definitely a black middle class story. Spa day with her sisters at a nice spa.
At a very nice spa that she is more than likely paying for. At
for.
least she paying for her younger sister. How do you think the age is Stella the oldest, or is she the middle?
I wasn't sure if it was her or Angela who was the oldest. I wouldn't be surprised if Stella was the oldest. Angela, I don't think she's too far off from Stella.
I don't think so.
But
either.
it did seem like Vanessa was younger, maybe like 5 or so years younger. Why was Angela so shady? She's such a hater.
She was horrible. She was the villain of the story. I don't know. Like she was also pregnant. But you know, even if she wasn't pregnant, she would be a pain in the ass.
Even from the beginning, she was telling Stella, she was like, "Oh, you need a man. Your son needs a dad." She was like, "My son has a dad. That's how he got here. Like, he's just not my man no more."
Angela is sold out to traditional marriage, and I think she really believes that you need a man in your life. Like, it's not surprising to me that she's pregnant. Women like Angela believe that blueprint works for everybody, and it just doesn't.
Angela is stuck on this traditional lifestyle, and when they were arguing, I noticed Stella was like, not everyone marries the second person they have sex with. And so you can kind of see that, like, Angela, she probably forced her husband to marry her, pretty much. We can't be living in sin. We got to get married.
Angela seems like the type who assumes that men will solve all of your problems. Once you have a man, then your life is somewhat complete. Because when I think about Stella, it seems like what she needs is work-life balance.
Yes.
Not necessarily a man, because Stella doesn't, I mean, even when she drops her son off at the airport, he's like, "Can you please just have some fun while I'm gone?" Like, my God. Even when she drops her son off at the airport, she's in a business suit. But we don't see her go to work after that. And I'm like, what? Everything about her feels so serious, even when she's running, you know? So I think runners, like, when I think about people who run all the time, I think that they get a sense of peace from running. With her, it's like, no. It's like, did I beat this time?
She seems very structured.
Very structured, very just like, God damn, like, when are you going to relax? So if you look at her life and you think she needs a man, it's like, girl, maybe she need to get laid. Does she need a man? I don't know. But I think she definitely needs to understand that her life cannot be made up of her professional career. Like, that can't be all of your life.
Well, she mentioned she pretty much put her dreams on hold.
Yeah.
Of her, like, wanting to make furniture and having that shed in her house and ignoring it for so long and just focused on work and making money, you know, the status.
To a certain extent, the film privileges Angela's stance on life, because because I mean, she, at the end of the movie, she ends up like not realizing that dream of designing furniture, you know, and it seems like that is what would have also made her happy. But the road to happiness seems like it is dependent on her relationship with Winston and not necessarily
they kind of like goals. They hinted about her artistic dream, but then it was like a small, like, her relationship with Winston was more important than her art. Which I wish it was a little bit more art.
Yeah, because do you think that they're still together?
Well, since this is based on a true story, no.
It's not based on a true
Yes,
story.
it is.
But if it was a true story, Winston would be gay. You think Winston is gay?
Listen, I don't know. Stella didn't know. He didn't know. Nobody knew until they was married.
He didn't know? Girl,
That's
if
what
you
he
believe
said.
that, I've got
I watched
a
the
bridge.
If anyone
For
doesn't know what we're
sale.
talking about, this movie book was based on Terry McMillian when she was in her early 40s, 42. She went to Jamaica and she fell in love with a 20-year-old.
With a 20-year-old homosexual.
He said he did not know he was gay.
I knew, and I was like 12.
According to him, he loved Stella. They got married and were married for 6 years until their last year of marriage when he said he was gay.
Girl, Terry, and see, this is the thing. You 40 years old, you don't know that. You 40 years old, you don't know that.
Maybe she was hopeful. Maybe she was just like, I don't know, maybe it was Jamaica or...
And maybe he wasn't homosexual. Maybe he was bisexual. Like, maybe he was pansexual. Who knows? Like, but I'm just saying that if the reason they broke up is because he's gay, I have a hard time believing that Terry McMillian doesn't know this. But
I think she was hopeful. I think she probably was really hopeful for this love story. Because she mentioned, like, this story was supposed to be this hopeful story of if you're in your 40s, you can find love again if you've, had previous relationships that didn't work out, or if you're a single mom, you can go to Jamaica and find your man and be happy. And I think she fell for that.
Yeah, and I want us to stop using Jamaica and all of these islands in this way. Like, oh, my life on the mainland is just so stressful, and I'm going to go to this place, and these people who live a more pure life, they're going to get me together. Like, no, get your own self together. Get together in America. Them people not there to make your life better. Nigga, fuck you. You knew that man was gay. What probably happened was, like any other person being fucking stubborn, you like, oh shit, I have chosen this man. Oh no, it's gonna work. It's gonna work, because I'm not about to look stupid out here. I'm Terry McMillian. Terry McMillian, please don't curse me out. But child, look, you're rich. You'll be all right.
She like Angela. She married the third person she had sex with.
Exactly.
And was like,
child,
we can't marry.
Stella was getting on my nerves with all this goddamn hollering. I can't take it. Stella was up there hitting them Mariah Carey whistle notes, and I'm over it. I'm over it. Soon as she, why? Can we just talk about the whistle register for a second? Everything scared her. She was always gasping. Hey, I'm so happy that you came to the pajama jam. Winston. Oh, God. Delilah come up to her, and I'm not calling her Delilah. Her name is fucking Whoopi Goldberg, okay? Whoopi Goldberg come up to her. She like, oh!
I like the name Delilah.
She likes me. She likes me. She's dancing with me. Ain't that right, Stella? Oh, that's right, Winston. Girl.
That's Angela Bassett, because she was singing when she was playing Michael Jackson's mama too.
No, don't do
yes,
Catherine. No, I guess what I am saying is that, like, we have this woman who is like very business focused, and soon as she meets this man, I'm hitting high notes. I think that was a part of the character development, just the same as like the image of water, how that keeps coming up. I think about musicians. And like when they hit those high notes, like what does that mean? The height of climax, or like there are no inhibitions. I'm about to hit this high note because I don't care. Like, like I'm going to. They're
excited.
I'm excited, and I'm not putting on. I'm not putting on. Like this is just naked excitement. I'm so ornery sometimes, and I'm like, no one cares that you're super excited. Like, shut the fuck up. So maybe this is just me being a hater, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being a hater. But
we'll call you Angela.
Call me Angela. Sister. Shit. Call me Walter. because he was a
The
hater
ex-husband.
too. Yeah, that's who I am, clearly, in the movie.
I want to bring back the name Quincy. Quincy was such a 90s name for black boys because Quincy was her son in this movie. Q or Quincy was Omar Epps in Love and Basketball. I just feel like Quincy was that 90s boy's name. And I want to see it come back.
I want that to come back. When I think of the name Quincy, I think of an S curl. But that's probably because Kim and
Albie Shore's son, Quincy.
That's what that is. He done stole Quincy.
That's a 90s boy's name.
Sure is. Can we also talk about how Stella's last name is Payne and Winston's last name is Shakespeare?
Now, I didn't get the Shakespeare part. I was like, come on now.
I feel like, okay, so you know how in Their Eyes Are Watching God, Janie's third lover is nicknamed Tea Cake?
Okay.
I feel like it's named Tea Cake. Like her first two husbands were, like it felt like the relationships were work, right? Like her first husband literally puts her to work. And her second husband, he's such like a freaking demigod that loving him feels like work because she has to perform femininity in a way that he wants it performed. So that's like literal labor. It's like labor intensive, you know? But with Tea Cake, it's sweet. It's fun. It's not necessarily nutritious, but it's like, it's delicious. Yeah. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I think like Shakespeare, I know that Shakespeare doesn't necessarily write fairy tales. Like these are not, but it's there's something that
more
is
poetic,
romantic about it. Like just fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's, you know, like the concept of like, oh,
drama.
This is like, yeah, like Romeo and Juliet. Like you think about this and it's like that shit ended poorly. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas died and them niggas was 14. You know what I'm saying? But still, even with the ending of that drama, it's still, oh my God, Romeo and Juliet, they love each other so much.
I get what you're saying about Shakespeare, bringing the romance and the drama. This movie focuses on Angela Bassett being 40. How did you feel about that focus? Seeing that we're closer to 40 than 20. Like,
child, when I tell you how I am knocking on 40 and I'm not in a position of making $275K a year.
Girl, I was like, I should have been, I need to be this age in the 90s.
Listen, I am like,
I want to be.
First of all, my studio apartment can fit in her damn plant shed. In her bathroom. That's rich to me, you know, like, and I know that $275K in San Francisco and you have a child, like you ain't really balling out of control.
She had a nice car and a nice house, and that whatever villa she was staying in, all I saw was windows and ocean view, right? Step outside on the beach.
And like, then for her to take her son and her niece to fucking Jamaica. And then, like, it was nothing. It was like, oh, you know, like, it was just, oh, we're going. Do you understand how I would have had to? Do you understand how our best friend is getting married and I'm sitting up here like, can't get the guacamole on the Chipotle bowl because I got to put money aside. So watch this girl walk that out. And Delilah, mama working for Calvin Klein. Living in New York City, got a woman who comes and cleans your place.
They was all talking. Maid was just running around this movie like normal conversation. Was it Angela that brought up, or she said she brought up a maid?
She was like, no one knows how to clean my house like I know how to clean my house, something like that. Like she wanted to hire a maid, but I think that there was just some issue with it. I got the feeling that Angela was a stay-at-home.
Yeah, like wife. She can afford a maid. She's just too picky. And then Delilah had a maid. I'm like, damn, they just was maids. Like, how much was the going price for a maid in 98?
Child, listen, it didn't matter. They sure enough had it. I even got the feeling that even though Vanessa was constantly asking her sister for money, she still had a job. I don't think that she was really hard up on cash. I bet if she just changed her lifestyle around, she would be fine.
She was a medic. Now she's not making six figures. So I
she's
think
not making six figures. But I think she all right. I think she's all right.
She would be all right if she managed her money, but she know Stella got it. So why?
Yeah. Vanessa is asking who's paying for this spa day as she has the mask on her face and sitting with her feet up in the bucket of water. The entitlement of Vanessa. She's like, oh, I know she got it. I'm going to ask while I'm in the spa.
She definitely the baby sister.
Can we talk about this water? I mean, is she constantly like baptizing herself or something? Because when she is in the pool,
always swimming underwater. Even in the ocean. The first shot was the ocean. That's when she comes running out the water, and that's when we see Tina Knowles' husband sitting with
Tina Knowles' husband. So she doesn't want to go to the pajama party, but she goes. The DJ is like, hey, take off y'all clothes, we get naked. People just start stripping like they knew that this was gonna happen. Stella is like, oh no, like
that was too much.
Nope. You know, I've never been to Jamaica. I've never been to like a resort in Jamaica. Like, I don't know if this is common, like if this is a common practice. But I think what it shows is like, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to like let your inhibitions go? How free do you want to be here? Because we're about to get naked. You know what I mean? I think like that kind of represents this relationship, this new relationship with Winston. Like, you about to jump right in with this boy right now? Like early like this? Nah, like I'm not ready for that yet. Then they meet at the pool and she jumps in. Winston jumps in with her. He's always like waiting for her. When they first meet, he's already eating.
Yeah.
Then she comes. At the party, he's already there. Then she comes. At the pool, he's already there. Then she comes. It's like he is solid in his position with her and has always been solid in his position. I want to be with you. He has to wait for her to arrive to the relationship. And so they get in this pool. She goes underwater. And that's when she decides, like, yes, we can sleep together. You can be my lover for the night. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's only after she takes a dip in the water and like comes up and she's just been refreshed by, you know, Winston water that like, now, you know, we can be together. She don't like when that ice hit her back though. Why do you think that is?
It's cold.
Girl, she be ruining moments. There's nothing wrong
that
with that ice.
Me too.
It's cold, but Jamaica is hot. And you hot. I know you hot for this nigga. Like, I'm putting this, you know, it's not like he dumped a ice bucket over your head.
No ice bucket challenge over here.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, no, you ruined the moment. Did he ruin the moment or did you just overreact? Calm your ass down. He proposes to her with the band. Ain't got not nan diamond.
Yeah, that part, that confused me. Because I was like, so what is this? Is this, like what is this? I did not think marriage at
Let's
first.
talk about this band. Why do you think he gave her a band and not a diamond ring?
Because he didn't have money for a diamond.
One, that's all he could afford. What's another reason?
I don't understand. Because you could have just gotten any kind of ring, even if it's just like, this is the ring for now. I'm going to get upgrade your ring later. I didn't get the band. Maybe he don't know her style, and maybe he wanted to take her to go ring shopping, but let her know his intentions first. Like, I want to marry you, but you can pick out your own ring.
I was thinking that maybe his feelings for her were void of any silliness and void of any performativity. Because if I can't afford the diamond that you want, why am I playing around with a diamond you ain't gonna like? Here's what I can offer you though. Like, I can offer you something serious. Because I think the band is the most serious part of the ring if we were gonna break down like the image of a wedding ring. I would say like the band is what goes on the finger. The band is what is the circle that's supposed to be a symbol of infinity. But she said, look, my heart said yes, my hand and my head and everything else and my bank account.
She was very conflicted about the age gap because she's 40, he's 20.
Yeah.
And so that's I mean, that's a lot to grapple with. Even throughout the movie, she talks about how, well, they mentioned the second time she's coming to Jamaica, he's asking her to buy like Cocoa Pebbles and Snickers with him. And she's just
that
like,
would have
okay.
turned me off. Like, don't be, it don't even matter what he was asking for. It's like, you want me to come here and bring you shit? I'm petty in that way. Like, nigga, I ain't buying nobody shit. We just met, nigga.
I wouldn't have mind if it was something that you definitely couldn't, something like unique. Like, oh, you live in California. I heard this bakery in San Francisco had, I don't know, this special thing I wanted to try. Like how Chicago got their popcorn. Like this was something like that.
I still don't. No.
You wouldn't have done it.
No. I just feel like I'm big on that. Like I don't want to spend money on somebody that I just met.
Ooh.
That is
like a snack. What's a snack?
No, I don't care if he was asking for toothpicks. Like I would be no. You can get that yourself.
He wanted some fresh picked Georgia peaches from the farm.
The only way that I would feel comfortable with that is he's like, hey, I'm about to send you some money.
I'm about to send you money some peaches?
Yup. I don't got no peach tree in my backyard. I got to go drive, get them hoes. So you need to give me some gas money, pay for the peaches for the shipment. Cause I got to bring these on the plane. I was just gonna come with some bathing suits. I only needed one bag. So now I got to pay for the double baggage because them peaches, that's a stone fruit, Nicole. That costs money. That's weight.
What if he wanted the Popeyes chicken at the airport? You know, after you went through security.
Then shoot me my $10. Shoot me my $10. But also, you can get that popcorn. You can get that Popeyes at the airport yourself.
No, because
like every airport me to do shit.
Every airport don't got Popeyes.
Yeah, and you can't get to the food without a ticket. Like, but listen, shoot me the cash. I will do whatever you need me to do. I don't like when people like ask me to do shit too early. I feel like, no, you're taking advantage of me. Don't. Like, I'm so sensitive to that. Like, if you come to Houston and I'm like, hey, Nicole, pick me up some, I don't know what's in the Houston airport.
I would get you some Popeyes from the airport.
And I would pay you for it. And I might pay you for your trouble just to do it. Like, I'm not doing that. How I know you even got it? How I know? Like, no.
Winston knows Stella got it.
And that's exactly why I would have an issue getting it for him. Like, oh, this nigga think he done came the fuck up. Oh, okay. Nigga, ain't your daddy a doctor? Don't y'all got maids? You better tell your maid to whip you up some Cocoa Puffs. And he wanted junk food.
Yep.
You know, we can get into what the fuck that symbolized, but I ain't got time because I'm sitting up here still on this water. But she like, nah, we ain't about to get married. I need time to think about that shit. And time goes by and daddy is pissed. Okay? They had a school function for Quincy. And they get into it at that parking lot, honey. And he's like, I've been waiting days and days and days. I'm supposed to forget that I asked you to marry me? Quincy come jump his old aggravating ass in the argument. Talking about, don't talk to my mama like that. Nigga, shut your ass up or I fold your ass up like some motherfucking origami.
Protecting his mama.
He needed to mind his fucking business.
Now, Winston is old enough to be his big brother. If he's supposed to be 11 and Winston 20, that's only like 9 years apart. That's big brother.
They go into the house and Winston is taking a shower and she gets into the shower with him. And it seems like every time she like lets water wash over her, her attitude changes. So I think water is very important to her. I also think like water is just very important to the Black literary tradition. Yeah. When they meet in the airport at the very end, like it's raining, you know, I just think I think that's important. Did you like Quincy?
I did.
He got on my nerves.
Oh.
Everybody got on my nerves. His attitude changed about Quincy like quickly. Cause when they first go to Jamaica, he's talking to Chantel and he was like, yeah, there go my mama new boyfriend. I don't know about him. I don't trust it. He a little young. But soon as that nigga start playing Marco Polo with his ass, he like, oh, I love him.
Cause that's like his big brother.
Yeah, like
he on his level. That's the thing. When you have somebody, I mean, they closer in age than him and Stella.
Don't do it. You wrong.
They are.
You wrong.
Quincy and Winston more close than Stella and Winston. So he's just like, okay, let's get in the pool, play some video games. All right, you cool. It's the truth. Ansel said Stella went to Jamaica and got her another kid.
How did you feel about Mrs. Shakespeare calling Stella desperate?
I can understand from her point of view, being that they're pretty much the same age. And that's like
Mrs.
if one
Shakespeare
of your...
is 41.
Stella's 40. And that's like if one of your friends is trying to talk to your child, I would have been like, oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old they are.
The way in which he introduces her to his parents, because Stella doesn't know that she's about to meet the parents, right?
No, he drives up to the house and she was like, oh, what kind of restaurant is this? This some type of bed and breakfast or whatever. And he was like, no, this is my parents' house. She's like, what? You don't just go to somebody's parents' house.
You don't.
And
I'm not like, and I know that ain't the way they do it in Jamaica.
Not only that, like, I would feel uncomfortable because what if I'm not ready, like, mentally?
Yeah.
Depending on what you got on, maybe, I mean, who knows if they just came from the beach or whatever. You don't want you coming in his house or his parents' house with I don't know, bikini on and a cover. Like, you want to at least be prepared to be like, okay, my first time meeting your parents, I want to at least get myself together the way I feel like I want to get myself together. She got her son and her niece with her. No.
Yeah, like, now I have to worry about my son and my niece being on their best behavior as I'm meeting your parents. It seemed like the parents knew that they were going to meet Stella. She was the only one who didn't know what was going on, and I don't think that. I think that was the biggest upset for me. Like,
that was not fair.
That wasn't fair. That wasn't right. You don't do that. Now, to be honest, the same thing kind of happens with Winston when they come from Delilah's funeral. He doesn't know that he was about to meet.
But she didn't know that either, and they could have easily just she could have had that car. She could have dropped off Chantel and been like,
back this car up. Let's hit it. And she doesn't want to do it. She's like, look, I'm hungry. Baby, I got food at the house. No one gives him a hard time when he meets her family.
Not even Walter, the ex-husband.
Not even Walter. He giving him pointers. Why do you think Delilah had to die? Why do you think that was a part of this story?
I don't know. That was so sad.
That was really sad.
Did Terry McMillian's friend die in real life? I ain't see that part.
You was stuck on this. This is a real deal story, child.
It is.
And she keeps her illness a secret.
She did, because when they first got to Jamaica, she just said she had low blood sugar.
Yeah.
And then Stella was like, oh, was the last time you had a physical? And she's like, oh, about a year ago. She was like, okay. But then we find out it's cancer. It's like, that ain't a little bit of low blood sugar. Yeah. And even when Delilah's in the hospital talking to Stella, she doesn't say, hey, girl, I'm in the hospital. FYI.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it could be just, we don't really know Delilah's personal life too much. That might be part of her personality. Maybe she just doesn't want people to be bothered or worried about her.
I think Delilah, for the entire movie, she always knew she was dying.
Yes.
Right before they leave Jamaica, she stands up and she's like, God is here.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like she knows that she is not long for this life, for this manifestation of her life. Like, I think she always knew her physical life wasn't going to last too long, and she Like, that's why she keeps telling Stella, like, look, life is too short. If you really like this man, you need to be with him. You need to do what you need to do. It doesn't feel like, and it doesn't feel like that advice is coming from, it feels like that advice is coming from a place of knowing truly how short life is, because she knows that hers is about to come to an end. I don't think that this is some like magical Negro type stuff though. Like when you have a black person who comes and imparts wisdom, and that's the only reason they're there. I don't think that's what this is. I think
Delilah was just for her to get to Jamaica and have fun and just to open up. I think Winston was for her to just tap into her creative passions, because we forgot to mention that she's at there. Well, her and Winston are both at a career crossroads. Stella, she goes on vacation, comes back, and pretty much loses her job. And then she's kind of stuck with trying to figure out what to do next. And then, like, is she going to focus on doing her furniture, her dream? Is she going to try to get the next job? Is she going back to her old job? Like, what is she going to do? And so she's kind of grappling with like, you know, what to do with her life. Winston the same way. Like, he was supposed to go to medical school. I'm sure that sounded nice to his parents, but he didn't want to. When we first meet him, he's trying to get this job as a chef, but then that didn't work out. So, like, they're both trying to figure out, like, what they want out of their careers, or what career they want to have.
Yeah. And notice, like, Delilah's job seems fun. I know that job is stressful. Like, in the same way that, like, being a chef sounds fun, but that's a very stressful job. And I think that Delilah leaving Stella's life says something about, again, that work-life balance that Stella hasn't worked out, and Stella's refusal to allow happiness into her life. Her friend lives far away. You know, a part of me, I'm like, how did they become friends? Who moved away from whom? I'm assuming Delilah moved away to New York. Because
her family's there.
And
they're 40. So, I mean, we all have friends in different parts of the country who.
Yeah, I also get the feeling that she has not seen Delilah. Like, she doesn't make time to go and see Delilah a lot, even though she can afford to. And I understand, like, maybe she doesn't have time, but does she not have time? Yeah. Like, it's because you are so used to not including pleasure in your life.
Yeah.
And so, like, Delilah leaving, like, Delilah is the one who, like, forces you to go to Jamaica. She forces you to do it. You know what I'm saying? She's the first person that you call when you get, because she's watched, the reason why she's thinking of Jamaica is because she sees this commercial, like, run away to Jamaica, you know, and she calls Delilah. And immediately, like, not a scene later, within the same scene, she's like, girl, forget it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think of getting away, you didn't call Vanessa, your sister.
Oh, no.
You called Delilah. Like, Delilah is the one who is fun for you, you know? And when that is taken away from you, like someone who is like pushing you to take care of yourself in that way, now I think, like, it forces Stella, like, you've got to get serious about taking care of yourself, because the person who was pushing you to do it is gone.
Yeah. Delilah was that force to change her life in a way. Delilah was like, we came to Jamaica to find some men's. Stella was like, I came here to relax. I was like, no, you did not come here to relax. You came here for the men's. I found two. Pick one.
Two of them. I just loved how, even though Stella is just getting off of the plane and Delilah has kind of been waiting for her, Like I could tell, like maybe they didn't plan their outfits, but they're matching. They're both.
They were matching. I saw that.
Carter with the narrative. Come on, Ruth, with the storytelling through the clothing. Okay,
that's like some best friend telepathy type of thing.
Yes,
we on opposite sides of the country, but we are best friends because we gonna be in the same shade of tan.
Yes,
when we get to Jamaica.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another film and more opinions. Leave a review and tell us what you'd like for us to watch. And let's keep the convo going on Instagram. You can find us at Curry Gumbo. Be well. Happy watching. Love y'all. Bye.